This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we are going to be taking a look at some expansions and some new starter teams for one of my favorite games, Baseball Highlights 2045. We're not reviewing the game here, but I do have some expansion sets that we'll be putting in this box after it's all over. We've got 4 new starter teams and 2 new expansions called Big Fly and Errors. Let me show you all the cards and I'll tell you how it's played, and I'll see you on the other side. This is the Errors expansion. You can tell because all the cards start with ER. That's how you know. These are cool. These all use the same one here. There's 15 total cards in this expansion. Here's 3 of them. They all use the same ability. Quick Eye, Wild Pitch. All base runners advance 1 base if versus a cyborg. And then some of them have double, single, and Evil Eye. Cool thing there is that you can have some wild pitches. Another new one here. Twofer. Lead off. If this is your first card played, single. And then you're threatening a single. Here's a couple of the same ones here. Let's put these down here. We have these guys, which are all gloves. Cancel 1 hit. Now, robots up until this point have always just been the sluggers of the game. These robots possibly could be good defense, but you have to make a check for a robot. And if so, they're good at defense and they're good at offense. Whoa, what is going on here? At first, I did not like this. I didn't like seeing the robots there, but they are pretty cool, actually. Here we have 2 more. Adam Lee, Paul Gonzalez. Contact. Any threatened hit on this player becomes a single if gloved. And we have this guy, Beanball. This is crazy. Remove batter from the game and replace it with a minor leaguer if the check matches the batter type. So in a check, you flip over the top of the free agent deck. If that matches the type that the guy who just played from the other team, remove him from the game. He got hit in the head with the ball. That is crazy. And of course, the Paul Gonzalez here, this is really cool because even if they have the glove, this guy's still at least getting a single, so he'll punch through. This was another one of those contact any threatened hit. Andrew Goldschmidt. All right, they got Goldie in here. I like it. All right, we got here Jacoby Davis. Contact any threat, same type of thing. Double, triple, but he gets at least singles in if this guy gets pushed through. We have Error. Gloves do not work on these 3 guys. Miguel McCletchin, Line Drive, and Mike Cabrera. Gloves do not work on threatened hits unless they make a natural check. So they got to check the free agent deck, pull one over. If it's a natural, it works. There's that. And then the last one for this expansion is a Deadeye. Cyborg is out of game and replaced by a minor leaguer if versus Cyborg and you make a robot check. So another way to get rid of somebody in the game, which is kind of crazy. That's the Errors expansion. The Big Fly expansion, you can tell because they say BF on the cards for Big Fly. Now look at this. Felix Strasburg, Chris Bumgarner, and Madison Price all have a sinker ball. They cancel all hits versus any player if there's a if there's a base runner on second or third. We have this guy, Homer Zimmerman. This is awesome. A clutch automatic home run if the bases are loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an automatic grand slam. Woo! Wow, that's big. Magna Glove, cancel 2 hits and home run. Whoa, but he costs 12. Quick Eye, 2 walks if versus a cyborg. And there's a few of these. This is cool. We got Lazy Eye, Walker, and if it's versus cyborg, they get 2 walks. This guy then gets a home run, a double, a single, and a single. We have RBI and Spin Cycle and Hit and Run, and they all have the Hit and Run ability. This ability is all base runners advance plus 1 base from hits on this card. Ignore base runner's speed. So you play this, and if these hits are not stopped, then everybody on base moves plus 1 from these hits, which is pretty cool. We have Glove, cancel 1 hit, and then a double home run from Adam Wright. We have the last type of abilities in this expansion, the Pinch Runners. Replace all base runners with fast base runners. And then some of them have some hits. Double single for Freddie Vottle, Hanley Harper, and Prince Posey. And that is the Big Fly expansion. Here are 4 new starter teams. It's really important to point this out. If you remember, the first 4 starter teams was Boston, New York, LA, and San Francisco. All those were slightly different. Everyone has the same rookies and then some slightly different veterans. Those were essentially V1 through V4 because there were 4 teams. Now we have St. Louis, version 6, Chicago, version 5, Florida, version 7, and Milwaukee, version 8. There are also other teams coming out that are different team names and team colors, but they might have the same V number, V5, V7, and that just means that mechanically they're exactly the same team, they're just different in name and color. Well, why would this be happening? Because some people might want to play with the same starting team against someone, so it's absolutely dead on equal with each other, but having 2 different teams. So this is V6 through V8. Let's take a look at what's different with these teams. Now, as I mentioned, here's the rookie team for Florida. All the rookies are exactly the same for all the teams of the new teams and all the teams from the starter teams that come with the base game. All of these are exactly the same, other than the name and the colors. Now, I know it's hard to see the details here, but here are the 5 veterans for the 4 new teams here. These first 2 on each team have a defensive type ability. The one guy all on the right has an offensive ability. This guy has a home run for all of them, but there's different robots, naturals, and some of them are worth different amounts. And they're all slightly different. Some of them have maybe similar cards, but again, they're just slightly different, just different enough to make them interesting and make you play the game a little differently no matter what team you have. All right, there they are. Let's first go over the expansions. Much like the other expansions that came in the game, if you like the game, no brainer, right? It's just going to give you more variability, more players to think about, more free agents to draw from. I like the different aspects of all the new stuff. And I like how they didn't just do more of the same or more of what's already been there. I like how Mike Fitzgerald thought of some new mechanics and some new things. I like how, wow, robots playing defense? Like at first I hated this. I'm like, no, you can't have robots playing defense. They're sluggers. But it's cool because, yeah, they still actually are kind of sluggers, but you got to do a robot check, and if so, then they'll do defense. And the names of those guys are funny. Well, a couple of cards that are kind of crazy are the Beanball, and the one other one that removes somebody from a game. Whoa, I was in a Baseball Highlights 2045 tournament at BGG Con, and I was playing against one of the developers of the game, and he just destroyed me with Barry Sosa. How nice would it have been to play a Beanball on Barry Sosa and get him out of the game? Some people are going to like those 2 cards. Some people are going to hate them and feel like they're overpowered because it's like, man, I just bought this guy for 10 or 12, and you're just going to spend this guy that costs like 3 or 4 and get him out of the game? Ooh, some people are not going to like that card. I'm on the fence with it still at this point, but still, interesting at least. You don't have to play them if you don't want to. But overall, the 2 expansions, I liked a lot of the things it did. I liked the new mechanisms, and no brainer, add them to them. Those 2 are going to be added to the Super Deluxe version along with the other 5 mini expansions that came out with this game. The starter teams, cool. You got 4 more new versions of the teams I just showed you there, with all just, same rookies, but different things. I like how they're starting to come out with not only new teams that are different, but also teams that have the same version that I explained there in the overview, that you can play an exactly same starter team with someone else, but with different team name. The only complaint I have with the starter teams is, up until this point, all the starter teams have had like the exact colors of that team. And the Milwaukee's really close in this one. The Florida wasn't really that close. It wasn't that sort of tealish light blue. It was just like a dark blue. I wish they would have done something more like the color of the Florida team. Same with St. Louis. It was red, but it was yellow writing. And I would have liked to have seen red and white or red and gray. But it's not exactly the team colors. And the Chicago, it almost kind of looked like the White Sox, but it didn't really. So again, 3 of them weren't like right on with the team colors. I'm not sure what that was. Some people that love those teams might have quibbles with those. I don't know. But in general, more things to add. Anything you're adding, anything to this game, I'm gonna love it. So that's the starter teams. That's the expansions. Obviously, I'm keeping these in my collection. So let's do a saxophone serenade to this.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.